Hello and welcome to ADHD Support Talk Radio. My name is Tara McGillicuddy and I am the host of ADHD Support Talk Radio. I am also an adult ADD and ADHD productivity coach and the founder and director of ADDclasses.com. At ADDclasses.com, we provide virtual support to people affected by ADD and ADHD. We offer free webinars. We have an extensive ADD audio library with more than 150 courses, and we also offer more in-depth support programs. You can learn more about ADDclasses.com by going to the website www.addclasses.com. And with that, I would like to welcome back Laurie Dupar to ADHD Support Talk Radio. In just a moment, we're going to be talking about the Succeed with ADHD Telesummit that Laurie puts on. But before we get started talking about the Telesummit, Laurie, can you let our listeners know a bit about yourself and how to get in touch with you after today's show?
Yeah, thanks, Tara. I'm excited to be here and excited to talk about the Telesummit that's coming up on July 17th and between July 17th and 21st. So a little bit about me. Those of you who don't know me, hello. And I've been an ADHD coach now for about 15 years. Prior to that, I was a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. And what I've done now is sort of blend those two experiences and expertise and have private coaching. You can reach me if you're interested in the private coaching at coachingforadhd.com. I do still see some private clients. The majority of my time, Tara, as you know, is now taken up by training actually emerging ADHD coaches at my International ADHD Coach Training Center. And if you want to find out a little bit more about that, about training maybe perhaps to become an ADHD coach, you can visit that website at IACT Center. That's IACT Center.com. And I guess I would say my specialty really is being able to work with people that are really sort of complicated. I think my background as a nurse practitioner, because I've learned about the neurobiology, the pharmacology of all different types of mental health disorders, it makes me really interested in that when I'm working with someone with ADHD. So the more complicated, the better. I love it. I love it when somebody's first diagnosed, kind of struggling through what to do next. Those are my favorite clients to work with privately if you're interested in that. Gosh, I've done I'm also an author. Tara's been part of the ADHD Awareness Book Project that we published. That edition was for about 5 years, and you can get those books on Amazon.com. They were number one when they were launched during that particular time, and they're full of these bite-sized pieces of helpful information about how to succeed with ADHD. I also do a lot of talking like Tara does internationally, and I love doing that, sharing and bringing people awareness and understanding about ADHD. I've served on multiple boards, again, like Tara, and just really am a fierce advocate for people with ADHD. And it doesn't seem to be letting up anytime soon, and I really get to love what I do. So.
Yeah. Laura, you have some great stuff. You do so much for the ADHD community, so many great resources. But today I thought we'd talk about one of the resources in particular, which is the Succeed with ADHD Telesummit, which begins on July 17th. So it's coming up soon. So I guess, maybe start with what actually is it to begin? Because I think most people hear the word Telesummit and they sign up for it, but may not know exactly what it is. So maybe just start with what exactly it is.
Well, a telesummit is like a conference over the phone, or you can even listen to it. You can listen to it via your phone, so it's an audio sort of conference, or you can listen to it through a web link. So if you're long distance or something like that. But it's the ability, the Telesummit, different people have different types of Telesummit. Our Succeed with ADHD Telesummit features 20-plus ADHD experts and professionals, and throughout the week, actually 4 times each day, there's going to be another expert talking about a particular topic, ADHD related. I like to So over the week, there'll be 4 speakers each day. And so there's 20 different segments that you can listen to. Some of the segments have multiple guests that are on those segments talking about their particular topic. But it's incredibly easy to access because all you need to do is dial in, register, and then we will send you all sorts of reminders to make sure that you don't forget, that you know exactly which number to call into. If you can't make it live for some of the segments, we do record the calls, so you can listen to it for 24 hours following that call. We'll send you the link to do that. It's super easy, and this is our 7th year, as you know, Tara, doing this Telesummit. It's almost surreal for me to say that, mostly because the first year I did it, I literally was like sick to my stomach in between doing these segments with these experts that I was so excited to be able to provide it to listeners. I was just like sick to my stomach literally in between the calls of excitement is what it was. Yeah. And now it's like it feels to me like, it's like having a big party, like having a week party with some of my favorite folks, including you. Tara's been on the Telesummit almost every single year, and talking about things that are really relevant. I make sure that that's part of what the topics are. I really look at it for balance, but really relevant to what's going on now. In fact, one of the talks that this particular Telesummit is including is one about ADHD and eating disorders. We all know that that is not an uncommon situation for people with ADHD, and I have a couple of guests that are coming on and talking about this topic that's not talked about that often. So sometimes the segments on the Telesummit are really conversation starters. Other times they are very concrete as far as providing tips. We have someone coming on, and Casey Dixon actually coming on and talking about mindfulness. If any of you have followed Casey and her mindfulness programs, she has some very, very step-by-step doable techniques and strategies with regards to her mindfulness. That's something that is sometimes when you're looking to, it's a topic we're familiar with but not really sure how to do it. Casey will give us the down and dirty for it.
Yeah. And one thing, I don't know if we forgot to mention, but it'd be great to mention, is that the Telesummit is free.
Yeah.
So people can actually sign up for it now by going to addclasses.com/TS. I don't know, you may have mentioned it, but I think it's definitely something, because there's so many resources out there.
Yes.
And but this is free to listen to live, and I think you said for 24 hours. So just want to make sure. You may have said it, but it may not. If I didn't hear it, I'm sure some of the listeners.
I didn't say it.
Remind that.
I didn't say it, Tara. It's sort of like one of those things that it's just like for me, it's just part of it. Yeah. The Telesummit is absolutely free, and some people might say, Laurie, how in the heck is it absolutely free? Like, how can you do that? Because I host that. There's a cost for it behind it to do it. But for me, why I keep doing this, Tara, is because every year I do this, I get email from people saying, oh my gosh, I had no idea. This is what was going on for me. And these are people, I'm over here, I know you're on the East Coast, I'm over here in Seattle, Washington. This is a way for me to reach, or for us to reach in our ADHD community, every corner of the world. Yes. We have people promoting it from South Africa. We have people promoting it from New Zealand. We have people promoting it from, Australia, Canada, all over. This is my passion. I mean, helping people with ADHD find the answers that they need. So this is a little bit of a selfish thing, because I know that by bringing other people on, and like you're doing here, Tara, sharing with your listeners that we're having this Telesummit, which is absolutely free to listen to, I am able to reach people who otherwise would be struggling alone and not know what's going on with them.
Laurie, how or why did you start the Telesummit? I think this is 7th year, so was that 2011? Was that the first year you hosted it?
Might have been, or 2010. Seems might have been also. Yeah, it was 2010. I started it because, really, having to do with what I said before, had been working for, 5 years or so, 6 years or so as a ADHD coach. And I know, been working even longer than that, Tara, but when I started, I realized, wow, how is it that people with ADHD, because I had a couple people in my family with that, were not getting the answers they needed. I realized that was really a very common challenge for them. They were looking in books. The internet was definitely available, but they were still struggling. I was getting calls from people every single day that they'd never heard of ADHD. They certainly hadn't heard of ADHD coaching, or they were seeing someone, a medical provider, who couldn't decide if it was ADHD or not. And I thought, wow, okay, here I am working one-on-one with people. Sometimes I was doing some speaking here and there, but I thought, boy, people really need to hear this information. Is there a way to be able to get to become visible or reach more people? And at the time I was working with a mentor of mine, and they had done a similar sort of telesummit. And I thought, well, I'll give that a try. I'll see how that works. And I think the first year we might have had around 500 people that had registered for the Telesummit, which now we're having, 5,000 plus people who are registering for the Telesummit. But 500 people that had not ever heard some of the information that the experts were sharing. And again, I got emails from people saying, thank you so much for doing this. I had no idea. And this Telesummit changed my life. And so anytime I can serve the ADHD community, I am a sucker. I'm totally all in. And this is where it started. And it's just grown from year to year. Not necessarily in dates. We've always held it over a week. We always have had multiple calls each day, but each year the guests are a little bit different. I reach out to the ADHD community, people that are talking about particular topics, and invite them to come share their message on the Telesummit with the listeners. It's a way for people who have ADHD to hear and to connect with people they may not have ever known about, that as a resource, as information, that sort of thing. So that is really what keeps me going and doing this. And then I get to spend time with sort of the bonus for me is spending time with each guest that comes on, and having that little time with them, to people that I really admire, people that I enjoy being with, to share their message. The calls, the segments are everything from people, like I said, Casey Dixon perhaps talking about mindfulness, giving some really concrete strategies around that, to conversations with people. I like to call it informational conversations, where I'm sort of picking their brain and helping them share that information with you about their particular topic. We have people talking about memory, people talking about coming out as ADHD. That's a new topic. We have someone talking about who has gone back and forth on medications, actually Rick Green from Totally ADD. We all know him, who took medications and is not, and he's talking about his experience of being on medications and now trying it without medications. We have people talking about, what else? I'm trying to think. What are you talking about, Tara?
I'm talking about the power of thoughts and words.
Yes,
in relationship to success with ADHD,
yes.
Which I think people may talk about it a little bit, but not to the extent that I talk about, and that's something new.
Yes. We have Terry Matlin coming and talking about women in ADHD, Linda Rogley coming on and talking about hormones and ADHD. That's a very requested topic. We have the gals from Impact ADHD coming on and talking about coexisting conditions. Every year I send out a request for people to let me know, what topics are you wanting to hear about? So these are some that have been requested in the past that we're bringing to this Telesummit. Excited also to have people from the business behind the wheel who talk about teens and driving and ADHD. So a little bit of something for everybody. Cindy Goldrich talking about parenting, Samantha Moe, a parent educator from Minnesota, is coming on and talking about how to create a peaceful home for yourself. So the topics, you can tell, really, really, really vary as far as we're wanting to provide a reason for everyone to come on and take a listen. And I can definitely say that you can. I've had people who've told me that their 10-year-olds are listening to this and are learning about their ADHD. Not necessarily a have-to thing, but it's not limited only to 18 and over. It's a G-rated show, completely free, and with all sorts of great information about ADHD.
Yeah, and just to remind people, if they'd like to sign up, they can go to addclasses.com/TS. It is free, but you do offer the option for people to purchase the sessions, which I think a lot of people end up doing that because it's a week long and they've learned so much, they've got so much, but they listen to like 20-something sessions in 1 week, and they'd like to listen to them again and have access to them forever.
Yes.
So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Exactly. You can listen to the segments live. And if you weren't able to make that particular segment, you have 24 hours to listen to it, and that's all free. If you're going to miss a call or you start listening and you go, oh my gosh, I want to go back and listen to this, a month from now, because of that, we developed we call it an ADHD Success Toolkit. So you can purchase all the recordings, all 20 segments, for only $97. It's an incredible value. And even to make it a better value, what I did is I asked the presenters to bring a bonus gift. To put also along with these recordings in this ADHD Success Kit. So we have, memberships to, for instance, to people's group programs for a month, and they're for free. We have audios and additional videos, articles people have written, courses that people have done. Another thing I want to mention to make sure is that the organization ADA is going to be on there. They're going to be offering a discount on their membership, which will also get you a discount to the CHAD conference in the fall. So this, the bonuses that the presenters include in these recordings, all for only $97. Their bonuses alone are worth hundreds of dollars. And then you get all the recordings to the Telesummit, so you can listen to them whenever you want. And yeah, you're right. It is one of the best values, and really popular for people to download and then have for your own library. You can listen to it whenever you want at that point.
I know a lot of people tell me they purchase them and then listen to them while they're driving to work or commuting.
Yes.
And so people just love them. So it is free, and people always, I know when I offer programs, they want to know if they have the option to listen to the recordings again and to purchase them. So, I mean, that was like something I know when I offered that as part of the expo, it was by demand. It wasn't like, oh, I want to do this. It was like people wanted it. So I'm excited about the Telesummit to be speaking again. Is there anything about the Succeed with ADHD Telesummit that you didn't share today, Laurie, that you feel is important?
Well, I want to make sure to let people, absolutely, it's free. You register, you get access to all of the segments. You can listen to one, you can listen to all of them. You can upgrade to the Success Kit for $97 if you are, either worried you're not going to hear them all, or you recognize that you want to hear something over and the 24 hours have passed. That'll be available to you. The price does go up after the Telesummit week, so I encourage you to, if you're thinking of getting that Success Kit, purchase it during the week of the Telesummit. Trying to think what else. What I want to say, a couple things is, one is that can almost guarantee that there is something on this Telesummit for you, something that you didn't know, something that you're going to take away that can make a difference. I find over and over again, it might just be one thing that people say that they heard in all of the, 20 plus hours that was worth it for them. The other thing is that please let me know during the Telesummit or after, what topics you would like to hear about on the Telesummit. I want to be able to serve you. I want to be able to provide you with what you're wanting to learn, and I'm happy to reach out and put myself on the line to be able to find someone to talk about that and share that with you. So I would love you to stay in touch and let me know that. I want to be able to provide you a Telesummit that is what you want to listen to. So, and I want to thank everybody who's come to the Telesummit before, all the guests over the years. My goodness, I think about that sometimes, who have offered their time and talent to be able to share with you. So, including yourself, Tara.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, Laurie Dupar, and talking about the Succeed with ADHD Telesummit. And remember, you can sign up by going to addclasses.com/TS. And that begins on July 17th. Thanks so much, Laurie. And thank you, everyone, for taking the time to listen to ADHD Support Talk Radio. Be sure to stop by our website at ADHDSupportTalk.com.